So the best era of electric unicycles is on the past. If you want to know a little bit more of my thoughts about this and why I'm saying that now is not so exciting to talk about electric unicycles, but in the past were more, stay tuned after the intro. Hi everyone, Marcos here from MADpack, and if you love eucs, PVs and everything that have an E of electricity, this is the place for you. And today we are going to talk about the market of electric unicycles and why I think that the market in the past were more interesting than it is today. We don't have to go a long time ago, but anyway, I'm going to show you that we've been doing the same mistakes that we've done since the first electric unicycle arrived in the market. And yes, to talk about the first electric unicycle coming out, we need to go back in time. We are talking about 1932, the Dynasphere, or called the Jumbo. So what was so interesting about this device that appears so long time ago, and why just in 2012 we start talking about electric unicycles more often? So what was the basics of this device in 1932? The gravity was the basics of this device. We wanted to reduce gravity to be able for us to basically move forward and go from point A to point B. All very interesting, and if you think about electric unicycles, they continue to be, in my opinion, the most efficient device that you can purchase because you have less contact with the floor, so you'll spend less energy. This wheel had no limitations, or this monowheel had no limitations, so you could go in ice, in grass, in mud, and that is very promising if you compare to a car that if you go in mud you can get stuck or you can have a flat tire. And besides the gravity, the objective is that this device had a good balance between obviously you riding it and all the wheel where you have to move to allow you to curve or to go in a straight line. Purves was the one that invented this and thought that this was the future of electric mobility, but it wasn't. And why it didn't work, and why I think that once again we are doing the same mistakes that were made in 1932. The Dynasphere, or the Jumbo, was not the first electric unicycle that came out, or monowheel that came out to the market. It was already something before that. But funny fact, this is the one that we talk the most. So in 1927, so basically 5 years before, you had the Kiddies Motor Wheel. Yes, a monowheel that was made for kids, to basically for them to enjoy and to be able to maneuver from one point to another. Can you see the similarities? So if you look to the Dynasphere, it was a massive thing, super heavy, super big, but the first one was super small for kids, just one tire if you want. Can you see the similarities? But if you think about it, 5 years later, all this attention was massive because us as humans, we always want more. We like big things, we like to show that we have a massive car, we have a massive house, and yeah, that was what make the Dynasphere so interesting in 1932. But not a lot of you guys know about the Kiddie wheel in 1927. But it didn't last forever, yeah, because in 1935 it came out a new thing. Walter Nielsen, what he have done? He've done the Kiddie wheel, but now for adults. So something more nimble, more maneuverable, more compact, like the beginning of electric unicycles, you remember? In 2012. And this was the beginning of the monowheel. And just to let you know, the monowheel still exists, and there is even versions, electric versions, and now they are trying to beat records to reach 70 miles per hour. But if the monowheel is on the market for such a long time, why the monowheel didn't become a transport for real? And that is very simple. It's hard to maneuver, it's hard to brake, it's hard to accelerate. You have a lot of problems of stability. Can you see the correlation with the past and the mistakes that we are doing now with the future of electric unicycles? So let's talk about these ones and the lack of all the maneuverability. That happens not a long time ago with the air wheel Q1, Q5, Q6, that we were putting two tires next to each other to allow you to be more stable. That should not be the purpose, yeah? We want something that is very easy to maneuver and is quite responsive when we are in traffic or you are just passing between other people. We've been passing from smaller wheels to bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. I remember the MSP was around 24 kilos, the King Song 16X 24.5. When we look to the Emotion V12 that I simply love it, but it's already 29 kilos. When you go to the Hero 32 kilos, we were saying that the Sherman Max with 35, the normal Sherman with 35 kilos was crazy amount of kilos. Now we are reaching 53 kilos. Can you see? We were just searching for one of the 4 problems that exist on the mono wheel, that is stability. Yes, with more weight you get a wheel that is more stable, but you are going to lose the other 3 things that made us love electric unicycles. So let's think about the basics of how to ride an electric unicycle. If you put more weight on the front, you accelerate. If you put more weight on the back, you brake. But imagine when you go 40-50 miles per hour and your wheel is just flying, and you have, like me, 70 kilos and you're riding a wheel of 53 kilos. When you try to brake, you are not just fighting the 53 kilos of the wheel, you are fighting the movement of that wheel that is a massive amount of force. Why we are going in this direction? So we don't have any problems to accelerate and brake on the electric unicycle, so it should be much easier for us to go forward with this way of transportation. So let's check what it means, micromobility, because in the end of the day, EUCs are micromobility, or they were before we reach now 53 kilos. So basically, micromobility means transportation using lightweight vehicles such as bicycles or scooters, especially electric ones that may be borrowed as part of a self-service scheme in which people hire vehicles for short-term use within a town or city. Micromobility is seen as a potential solution to moving people more efficiently around cities. Yes, we see micromobility as a transportation to move inside the cities, but we are talking about electric unicycles with 4,800 watts. Do you really need all that battery to move inside the city? So looking to these new electric unicycles, they are coming out like the Emotion V13, even the Veteran Sherman S that I really like, and obviously the EX30 and all these wheels. Man, 53 kilos, this is basically the weight of my wife. Do I want to carry my wife all the time in my arms? I love her, but maybe not. And we need to think that that's the purpose. The electric unicycle is not just to be on the road, we'll be carrying around. And that's why I love my Emotion V8F that is super small with 14 kilos. So it's my favorite when I go to the shop. And like he was saying, we need to move people efficiently in the city. So for me, the weight of an electric unicycle is essential to basically allow you to connect to that device. So if you imagine myself, I have around 75 kilos. So I said that in the past that my favorite weight for a wheel is around 32 kilos. And yes, I'm saying that one of my favorite wheels is also the Emotion V12 that is 29 kilos. So 32 kilos is basically 42% of my weight. And I always said to you guys that I believe that an electric unicycle should never pass the 45% of your weight. Otherwise, you'll be fighting against the wheel. The wheel will not be part of your body. And that's one of the things that made me love electric unicycles, is that I feel connected with the device that I'm wearing, that I'm using, that I even don't have to think about it. I just accelerate and brake in a very smooth way, and like if it was walking, but in a very fast paced. So in other words, if you decided to purchase the Emotion V13 or all these new wheels that they are around 53 kilos, basically if you have my weight, that wheel symbolize 70% of your weight. So can you imagine how hard it will be to brake at 40-50 miles per hour with 73 kilos in a wheel that weighs 70% of your weight? You can imagine how hard it will be for you to fight the motion of that wheel. You think that is safe? So I'm doing this last episode about all this situation to really point out things that I'm seeing that I'm missing out from all this new road where we are going with electric unicycles. And one of them is fun. I can't describe how many times I love to just grab my Emotion V8F and go to the shopping and just maneuver, and it's easy to come out and it's easy just to walk around. It's so fun. It's so fun, and low speeds, obviously, that is all the types of fun that I search with high-speed wheels, but that sensation of freedom is basically gone with these new wheels. We are losing the possibility to be in control, to be easy to change directions, to avoid that a child just jump in front of you or a car just open a door. You understand, we are losing our capability to be in control. In other words, we are losing the possibility to be safe. That's something that if you see my videos, you know that is super important for me. And above something else, we are losing the possibility to connect our body with speed, something that this little guy have done in television multiple times, going super fast using their body. And using an electric unicycle was always that sensation that I was looking for. If you want to know a little bit more of what I think that we can't do to be safer and to have better connection with those wheels, they are super fast and being more efficient, definitely check another video that I've done about the Citroën Ollie and why I think that we should look to that car and put things that they developed to that car in our community, in our future wheels. And also, if you are curious to know why distributors are not purchasing wheels as before, I have also put these videos out here. So be aware of all these things before you decided to purchase any wheels. And yeah, my name is Marco, this is MADpack. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, comment below, smash the thumbs up, do whatever you want, but always with a smile on your face. And I hope to see you in the next one.